What's going on, everybody? Brad Cohen, Harman Realty. Today I want to answer the question, that house is overpriced. But is it? It's no secret that in the wake of COVID, the housing market went bonkers, fueled by ridiculously low interest rates and really high buyer demand. But what we're seeing now is a change in that market. And I'm hearing more and more comments from people saying that house is overpriced. So let's talk a little bit more about what that means. First, let's talk about inflation. Guys, everything is more expensive right now. Have you looked at eggs recently? That's how inflation manifests itself. Everything gets more expensive. Does that mean it's overpriced? Well, that's in the eyes of the consumer. If a carton of eggs used to cost you $3 and now costs you $7, does that mean it's overpriced? Are you just not going to buy eggs? I know some people are, but you can't control the price that is driven by the market. People always say the cure to high prices is high prices, but consumer behavior is arguing the contrary right now. People still seem to be buying stuff despite the high prices. Fact, prices have stabilized and the number of home sales has declined. Why? Affordability was dramatically affected by the doubling of mortgage interest rates last year. The payment on the same house today as opposed to a year ago is several $100s more per month. So, in the eyes of the purchaser, the house is overpriced because it costs them more than it would have in recent memory. But, is it truly overpriced? Probably not. Realtors are still looking at the same comps and the recent comps typically within the last 6 months when they're determining pricing strategies and discussing those strategies with the seller. A house that's 2,400 square feet with 4 bedrooms, 2.5 bathrooms, priced at $425 is not overpriced when a nearly identical house in the same neighborhood sold for $425 within the last 3 months. We now have 6 months of data to show what has happened with prices since the mortgage interest rate doubled. And what it's showing is that prices are still modestly increasing. The challenge here is that it takes mass consumer behavior to have a negative impact on prices. Are people no longer massively buying eggs? Not so much that it's had a negative impact on pricing. And the same thing matters for real estate. While there have been some buyers who have left the market or been priced out, I truly don't believe that there is enough large-scale consumer pullback in our local market to have a negative impact on prices. For every one house that's sitting on the market, there is several more that are going under contract quickly. And if you are not a seller who absolutely has to sell, as a buyer, you may just have to pay for it. The good news in all of this is that inflationary pressures seem to be easing, albeit slowly, but they are easing, and that's causing mortgage interest rates to modestly decline. If that trend continues, we are likely to see further drops in the mortgage interest rate, which is good for real estate all around. That said, do not expect mortgage interest rates in the 3% range anytime soon. In fact, in my opinion, I think we should put it out of memory. If you were one of the people who locked in, good for you. That's awesome. I hope you pay off your mortgage because that is so cheap. For the rest of us, we need to adjust and start looking at rates in the 5% range as good again. So, is that house overpriced? Maybe. Some houses are still overpriced. However, maybe not. Maybe it's just in the context in the eyes of the purchaser that it costs them more money. If you have a question about a particular property, or if you're concerned about the valuation of your home, always feel free to reach out to me. I'm happy to discuss what's going on in the local market and the conditions that affect your particular property. Right now is more important than ever to trust and work with your real estate professionals. Thanks so much for watching my video. We will see you for the next one.